Now, if you watch this channel quite a bit, you know that I'm not one for external monitors and V-mount batteries and all types of external accessories that we typically hook up to our mirrorless cameras or whatever camera we're using to make it like a little bit better. I like to have cameras that have everything already kind of all included so that I don't have to have a bunch of accessories. However, every now and then you do need an extra accessory, such as an external monitor. I'm gonna tell you which external monitors I've tried and which one I think is the best. Stay right there. You're gonna wanna see this. Hi, I'm Mike Turner, your friendly filmmaker, and today we're talking about external monitors, namely the Feelworld F5, the Atomos Shinobi, and the Feelworld F6 Plus. Now, before we start talking about these monitors, let me just tell you a little story, because I like to tell stories every now and then. So I shot this video a long time ago, or at least the B-roll for this video that you're watching right now, back in April. And it was really the F5 and the Shinobi. I was gonna do a video comparing the two, and I just never got around to it. And then I saw a video from VidHeads, my big brother, Aaron Jones, who's actually not my big brother, but if you watch his videos, you'll know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I saw his video on the Feelworld F5, which was very good, and I was just like, man, let me just go ahead and put this thing together. So as I'm putting it together and I'm editing, I realized that I have all this B-roll of the Feelworld F5, and then the B-roll that I had for the Shinobi, I must have double punched it. I must have hit record twice, because the video that I took of the screen, because I want to show you the screen and me interacting with it and whatnot, I just don't have. So what you might want to do, we're still going to talk about it, and we're still going to talk about my opinions on it, but what you might want to do is check out Dan Watson. He has a video on the Atomos Shinobi. If you really want to see the menu setups and stuff, you can go ahead and check his video. I'll put it down in the links. But right now we're going to talk about it, and we're going to show you the Feelworld F5 and F6 and compare it to the Shinobi, and we'll talk about which one is better. Here we go. So let's talk about the main features of all of these monitors. I'm not going to go and talk about every single spec. I'm just going to talk about the ones that kind of stick out to me as a person who does a lot of event shooting. That seem to matter. So you're going to see these monitors from the perspective of an event shooter mainly, not from the perspective of someone who's shooting short films or whatever. Even though I can offer that perspective too, which I will. But for the most part, I'm talking about using these things in fast-paced environments. So listen, they all take in 4K signals, all right? And they can all display at 1080. So your monitor takes in 4K, but the display on the monitor itself is actually 1080. And they all look very good to me. They're all very sharp. They're all very bright. The colors look good on them. I don't have a problem with the look coming out of any one of these monitors. I mean, the nice thing for me is that they all come with tools that are gonna help you get your shots in focus and make sure that your shots are properly exposed. And that's the most important thing. And you're gonna be able to see it clearly. And I mean, they pretty much all do that. So they all come with focus peaking. They all come with zebras for your exposure. They all come with false color. They all come with the way to magnify the screen so you can kind of punch in and see what you're focusing on. What else? These are the main features that I like. They all come with that. Now, in addition, the Shinobi comes with some additional things that I also like. It comes with waveform, which is a big one. I really like using waveform monitors to get my exposure, and the Feelworld F6 and F5 do not come with that. So that's one thing it's missing. The Shinobi also comes with a vector scope, which is really cool. So but that one really doesn't matter too much for me, because using my camera, I already know my camera's not gonna be super colorful. It's not gonna be oversaturated or anything, because it's set the way it's always set. So it's never gonna be a situation where I'm gonna hit record and all of a sudden now it's just totally oversaturated or too undersaturated. That doesn't really happen. So that one's not really that important to me. It also comes with an RGB kind of waveform too. And I'm sure it has some additional scopes and monitoring tools that the F5 and F6 don't come with. But again, like, it doesn't matter to me because they're not practical and I don't really use them when I'm out shooting, so it really doesn't matter. But just talking more about the Shinobi, one of the things that I like about the Shinobi is that it's a touchscreen. And that touchscreen really allows you to just kind of use it very quickly. So if we're talking about shooting events, you pretty much have all of the different tools laid out on the bottom of the screen. So you got your zebras, you got your peaking, you got your little magnify tool to magnify into the screen, you got vector scopes, you got your waveforms, and you can just punch everything on and off very quickly. So, and you got histograms and all that stuff. So that part of the Shinobi is really nice, that you can just so quickly, turn your tools on and off. And I really like that about the Shinobi. And with the Shinobi, you can also load LUTs directly on to the Shinobi via the SD card slot. So if you're shooting log and you want to see on the monitor what your image is going to look like when you're done editing, you can load that right on. So that's actually pretty cool. And then also, I mean, the biggest thing is the fact that it's a touchscreen. And I mean, it's just easy to use. And then it also comes with a dummy battery to power the Shinobi. So you could take a dummy battery, plug it in there, and then plug it right into wall power. And now you don't even need to use the MP batteries. You could just go right off of wall power and just use it all day long. So, and it comes with that. It's not something you have to buy. It actually comes with it. So that's pretty cool. Now let's talk about some of the things that I don't like about the Shinobi. It doesn't come with a way to mount it to your camera. So it doesn't actually come with like a ball mount or some type of bracket, anything to mount it directly to your camera. So you have to buy something, or maybe you just have something lying around that you can use to mount it to your camera. Not a huge deal because it's not like ball mounts are very expensive, but still, it doesn't come with it. It also does not have a DC out. So you can't take, if you do have a bigger MP battery plugged into it, you can't draw from that power and plug it into your camera because there's no out on it. There's also no HDMI cable that comes with it, so you have to make sure you have an HDMI cable. There's also no HDMI out. So if you want to take what's coming into your monitor and send it to another monitor, so you have two monitors, you can't do that. Not a huge deal for me because I don't do that very often, but I know some of you may, so I just want to mention it. It also doesn't come with a sun hood, but that's not a huge deal because the screen is actually pretty bright, so you almost don't need it in most situations. But I find like if you're really, really in crazy sunlight, a sun hood would be helpful, so it'd be nice if it did come with one, and it doesn't. So that's about it for the Shinobi. So now let's move on to the Feelworld F5, which I have right here, the F5. I still have it, right? So that's a good sign, right? So now with the F5, one of the nice things about the F5 is that it's cheap, right? It's only $159 compared to $299. So you're saving a lot of money with it. So that's pretty cool. Another thing also, just kind of looking around the F5, it takes the MP batteries, but it also takes the Canon LPE6 batteries. So if you have some of those lying around, now you can use them. Pretty cool. Other thing, it has this quarter 20 mount, but you could put it on the bottom or you could put it on the side. So you don't have to leave it on it comes natively on the side, but I put it on the bottom. So when it's on the side, you can use the bracket that comes with it to mount it to your camera. I just like mounting it from the bottom personally without the bracket. That's just me. But it's nice that it gives you that option. And then it also comes with an HDMI out. So you can set up two monitors with this one. And then in addition to that, it also comes with DC out. So now you can plug in like one of the bigger 900 MP batteries and then power your camera with this as well. So that is really cool that it comes with that. And then in the package, it comes with the sun hood that you mount right here to this little Velcro on the top. And then it also comes with the HDMI cable. So you're good to go there. So it's coming with some extras that the Shinobi does not come with. Obviously, you can't load LUTs onto this like you can the Shinobi, but still, it's actually pretty cool. And with both of them, actually with all of them, they all have headphone jacks, so you can monitor your audio via a headphone jack on all three of the monitors. So that's also a nice cool feature that they all have as well. Now, let's get into what I don't like about this, and it's pretty big. It's actually pretty big. These buttons on the top. I hate the fact that these buttons are on the freaking top. You would think that's not a big deal, but it is, because when you're trying to use this thing and it's mounted on your tripod or whatever, well, guess what? You can't see the buttons, right? Because your camera's right here. So this is going to be like above your head. You can't see the buttons without tilting it towards you. And if I'm shooting something that's live, I really don't want to have to tilt this toward me to operate the buttons, because I want to use the monitor to see what's going on, you know? So now I got to tilt it down. Now I can't see what's going on. I'm fiddling with the menu. I'm going like this, off and on. That's the wrong play. Nope, that's wrong. Oh, yeah, there we go. Nope, yep. So very, very slow to use when you're trying to be fast. I'd much rather that they would have made these buttons and put them on the sides. Like maybe made this a little bit bigger and just put the buttons on the side and then like put a joystick. Also, they only have 2 function buttons, which really serve as like quick buttons. So you can toggle these to be like, you know, I want to turn my focus peaking on and off. I want to turn my zebras on and off. But you only have 2. And 2 for me is just, it's just not enough. I wish there was at least 4. Then you could be really quick, because I might set it up, focus peaking, zebras, magnify, you know, like 1-to-1 pixel thing or whatever. And then maybe, I don't know, histograms, because I do use the histogram a lot actually. That would be good. Now I have 4 things that I can toggle on and off very quickly. So without that, to me, that makes this pretty slow to use. And it's almost a deal breaker for me. I really dislike that. And to be honest, I returned the Shinobi back in April because the Shinobi used to be $399 and this was still $159. So I just couldn't justify keeping the Shinobi when it was like $240 more than this. I just couldn't. So I just kept this one and I returned the Shinobi because I'm cheap. But now that it's $299, it's like, now I would have definitely rethought that decision, because now to me it's more economical and it's priced just right. So just know that. So now if we're talking about the F6 Plus, which I have right here, and the F5, you can see there's definitely a size difference in the two. The same way that there's a size difference between the F5 and the Shinobi. This one is probably just like a hair bigger than the Shinobi, because the Shinobi is actually bigger than this. They're both still really lightweight. This is a 5.5 inch monitor as opposed to a 5-inch monitor. So you're getting a little bit more real estate with this one. And I think it actually helps. So I actually like the 5.5 a little bit more. But let's just compare the two. Pretty much the F6 Plus, from what I can see, has pretty much all the same features as the F5. You know, it has the headphone monitoring, DC out, HDMI out and in. The additions that it has is that it's a touchscreen, just like the Shinobi. And same way like the Shinobi, you can load LUTs onto it. But unlike the Shinobi, it doesn't have like those picture profiles that are camera specific, just loaded on there. So there isn't one for like your Sony A7 whatever. It's not loaded on there like it is on the Shinobi. And it's missing some of those extra monitoring tools that I mentioned earlier in the video, so you don't have those either. But this is $229.99, so $70 less than the Shinobi, at least at the time of this video. And to me, the touchscreen is very easy to use, and to me, it's almost easier to use than the Shinobi. It's more intuitive than the Shinobi, I feel like, because you could just you can gesture on it to increase the size of your video. So if you want to do that pixel to pixel thing I was talking about, where you want to zoom into your shot so you get your focus, just gesture like you would on your cell phone. Same way. That right there saves you a lot of time. You want to turn your audio up in your headphones, just go like this on the side of the screen. Actually, I think it's this way. Just move your finger up and down on the side of the screen. You want to raise the brightness on this, up and down on the side of the screen. Amazing. You know, it's really amazing how you get to things on this. It's really, really well done. It's really smart. Right now it's in false color mode. But you know, you could just tap the screen to bring up your menus. You can scroll up and get rid of that. Scroll up to get to like your quick settings. I just turn the false colors off. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quick customizable settings that you can change. You can make them be whatever you want. Excellent. And you can access them like this, like I said, or you can click on the menu wheel and it also brings them up, and then you can kind of scroll through them and select which one you want with the menu wheel. So it gives you multiple ways of controlling the monitor, and they're all very fast. Whether you touch or even if you couldn't touch it and you just had the menu wheel, you would be set with this thing. Extremely quick to use, priced very, very well. Different mounting points on it again, same thing. It's got a mounting point on the top now, on the side, on the bottom. I love this. This thing I love. I actually like it more than the Shinobi, and I definitely like it more than the F5. So there you go. So now you know which one I think is the best. For the money, F6 Plus all the way. More space, easier controls, not as much controls as the Shinobi, but enough to get the job done, in my opinion. I think about the only thing I would say about the F6 that I don't like is that when you're using false colors, for whatever reason, it doesn't show you like the IRE. It's weird, but it, like on the Shinobi, and I feel like also on the F5, it tells you like red is 100 IRE, blue is 0 to 10. Like it tells you. Like this one, it just shows you the colors, but it doesn't tell you what they represent. I'm sure that's something they could correct in a firmware update, so I'm not really too worried about it, but usually you kind of know what they represent, so, because it tells you. Not a huge deal, but just something that I've observed. Other than that, there's really nothing else that I don't like about it, to be honest. One other thing. There is one thing. So the bracket that comes with it obviously fits very well. No matter how you want to mount it, it's going to fit very well into the mounting points. I personally don't like to use that bracket. I like to use a little friction mount, and the friction mount, for whatever reason, doesn't screw into here very well, because before you get to the threads, there's a lot of plastic there before you get to it. There's like a thick, I don't know, maybe I don't even know what you would say, like 1/8 of an inch or something of plastic. Then you get to the threading, and it's hard for my little friction mount to grab into the grooves of the thread because it's just not that long enough to do it. So it still works, but you really got to force it in there. And then if you're swiveling this and you loosen it up just a little bit, it wants to fall off because it's not gripping the threading as well as it should because of this thick plastic before you get to the threading. I don't know why it's designed like that. The F5 is not like that. The threading is just right there. There's no thick plastic before you get to the threading. But this one, it's just the way they designed it. And I wish they would have just kept the same mount that they had on the F5, on the F6. It's like I said, it still works. It's just that you have to be careful because just too many turns back and forth and it's just going to slip right off. So just something I thought I'd mention, not a big deal, but it is something that I've noticed. So anyway, there it is. If you found that to be helpful, go ahead and like this video. Please, oh please, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, because I'm doing videos like this all the time. And also, check out www.mediahammock.com/use, because items that I review on my channel that I'm no longer using will be on that website for you to purchase and to put money in my pockets, because the holiday season is coming. Oh yes, it is. So please go ahead, check that out. If you're interested in the F5 and you don't need it for running gun stuff, it's still a good monitor. So if you want to buy it, you can buy it. It's in excellent condition. I have all the accessories that come with it. I have the box, everything. It's going to come to you like it's brand new. So please go ahead and buy it, because that would help me out immensely. Anyway, as always, I'm Mike Turner. Thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you soon.